everyone, and welcome to Refined Thoughts, the show where we discuss theological and ethical topics. We have an ethical topic today. I'm excited for today's show, and today, in our ever-rotating position of topic introducer, we have with us Josh Copes. Josh Copes, tell us what we're going to be talking about today.
Child privacy. Is it okay to invade your child's room without asking them? To look for, dangerous memorabilia such as Sharknado torpedoes or even, drugs? Is it okay to ask about the pin on their phone? Do you want to know what's inside of there? Is it okay to even let them have a smartphone? To let them borrow the car? Is being secure and focused on the safety of your child and your family going too far, though, and causing you to be a bad parent? Or is trusting your kids not quite enough to keep them from getting into trouble?
All right, now, up front, I feel like we need to disclaimer-tize. None of us actually have kids, so all of this is probably going to change, inevitably, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Steven and I are married. Danielle is engaged. But Andrew over here, ladies, as single as it comes.
That's right. Just, let that one simmer there.
Yeah.
So I think that if we're going to do this, we have to kind of come up with like a semi-scientific thing, what we're
Fair
doing
enough.
here. So
Okay.
we should have like a scale. So 0 being complete, utter trust in your kid. And then like the other side being like at 0 to 10. 10 being like you're gonna call on your FBI friends, like rearrange satellites to watch over.
No trust in your
yeah,
kids.
0 trust, drone strikes at all time watching.
Drone strikes?
Sure.
Wow.
All right.
Man, oh God.
All right, Steven, take us away. What is you got?
I'm a 2. I would not search through my child's things without their knowledge.
Oh, it's way too low. I would probably fall... I'm going to say 7.5. I'm decimal point eating it in there. I'd go through my kid's browser history. Yeah.
Okay. No, see, I was gonna roll with the 2. I'm gonna stick with the 2 on this one, buddy. Yeah. I was gonna do like a 6 or 7, but since you guys have aligned with the 2s, I'll bump mine up to a 7.5. I'm not quite calling in a drone
7.5.
strike or attack or anything, but I will definitely like call local government. To
Okay.
find.
Well, as you can all see, we totally agree on this topic. So what we did is we decided to hit the streets. And our normal street interviewer, Mr. Troy Frazier, could not make this one, so we did it ourselves. A nice segment called Refine on the Spot Thoughts. So we're wondering if you guys would ever snoop in on your kid's room, and if so, kind of why?
If there's a reason to go through your parents' to your kid's room,
Yeah.
you have to first let them know.
If I was curious if they were hiding something or doing something, yeah, I would.
I'm old school. I'd take the door hinges off or something like that and go do it. So I wouldn't. If they're in my house, then yeah, I'm looking through anything I want. It's not snooping if it's my house.
I don't think parents should go through their room at all.
I would not. My mom did it to me, and I hated it when I was a kid. So I don't think I'd do it to my kids.
So you had some exciting things to hide then, apparently.
I did.
You did. I would. I think I would.
You would?
But we have an 11-year-old, and up until she's 18, I think if there was something suspicious, yeah, I would.
Browser history. Let's go with browser history. Would you like snoop on their browser history? What do you think about that?
I would all the time. I would. It would be embarrassing because if my mom, I'm a 90s baby, so if they had technology now, back then, I would have got caught up with a lot of things in my browser history. So I can imagine he would be the worst.
Do you need to have their passcode to their phone? Is that something you would require them to give you? What do you think?
I don't think he should have a passcode. I wouldn't let my kid have a passcode.
No passcode. Nope.
They don't even get to have a passcode?
No, I think it depends on the kid. If it's like a trustworthy kid that, hasn't been in trouble, has good grades, and does well in school, hey, I got a phone when I was 12 or 13. I was fine.
Back then, the phone was a flip phone.
True.
So how would you kind of define, maybe if you could, in just a couple sentences, your view on a child's right to privacy? Like what rights do they have or not? And as parents, how do you deal with that?
I think we're paying for them to be alive. I know he's had different experiences, but until she's 18, and I'm paying for her.
Yeah, no, I agree. As far as going to doctor's office and then medical privacy and stuff like that parents should have access to those records. Same thing with what they're doing in school and things like that.
It's also so you're the parent, so you're emotionally tied to these children. So if they act out or they've got emotional problems, you need to get them help, and you won't know how to help them if you don't know what's going on in their life.
Wow, fascinating, guys. I thought it was interesting how almost everyone agreed with my viewpoint with the more liberal approach to...
To be fair, there was a family split. So there's some there's a little bit of ground for you guys to
my
stand
point
by.
is my point is
Thank you. You're welcome. Just trying to make it fair.
We're raising the kid it is our responsibility. There's a reason they live inside your house. It's because they're. I mean, as long as they're in your house, you're forming that child into a good human being.
Yes.
And I mean, ideally, okay, in a perfect universe, yes, I would love that perfect trust between your kid. But children can get rebellious. They can get ornery. They're trying to. They're breaking rules by. I mean, they're going to be selfish at times.
This is my thought, because I get that when they're a little kid, when they're like not puberty yet, like child, but
they're still your responsibility.
You can just pay attention. I understand that, but I'm getting there. Okay, so like as a little kid, you look at them and you go, hey, I pay attention to the stuff you do, and whether you hit Sally or not. Like and it's easy to pay attention to that because an 8-year-old can't hide anything anyways, even if they try. So, but when they hit that puberty age and stuff, I start really caring about what they're thinking, not as much, if you will, almost about what they do, because ultimately what they do is going to come out of what they think. So I really care about what they think, and I'm not going to get that out of them if they don't trust me. And if I'm snooping through their stuff, then what? They're not going to trust me.
I think you're wrong.
But when you're in the area where they are thinking and trying new things and stuff like that, with that whole thing, the rebellion side of that, there comes a whole element of secrecy. So they may like go out and try like marijuana and then be like, oh man, I love this.
And probably bring it home?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Yeah. Are you kidding? Did you guys have stuff at home that you hid in your room and stuff like that?
If they know you're going to snoop through their room, they're not going to bring it home.
That's
Then they're
not
doing
true.
drugs and they don't have it at home.
Yeah, but if they're not going to bring it home,
They're gonna hide it out in the
They're
tool
still not
shed.
going
I
to talk
mean,
to you. They're not going to be like,
they'll find a way to hide.
Dad.
Yeah, they'll find a way to do it. They'll
I
do it
love
anyways, whether you
smoking
snoop
weed.
through the room or
How
not.
can he tell you that?
I think that I agree with Daniel just in that you have to establish trust. You have to establish trust with your child before you can say to him, hey, I think that you might be doing something shady. I'm going to check your room.
Okay.
I mean, I'm reserving the right to check the room.
Yeah,
I'm
but
reserving
so
the right
you're
to check
still
their stuff.
searching their room. Even if they know it or not, you are still snooping through their room and
But
going through it.
snooping implies that they don't know anything about it. Snooping implies secrecy.
But
I
still,
don't know
still going into the room and being like, I think
Just
you
saying,
did something wrong.
"Hey, kid,
I'm
I
gonna
don't-
go
yeah.
look for porn.
Son,
or
I don't trust
weed."
you. Let's
Yeah.
go through your room.
That's giving the same message as snooping through their room.
And it's not the same message. And it's also still a big deal. I don't think that's like our go-to thing. Like, here, I'm going to tell them and then I'm going to do it. That's an extreme case.
None of us know what we're talking about. So why don't we ask an expert?
That sounds like a great plan.
This sounds like a terrible idea. So this is my mom. She is our expert. She raised 2 perfect young gentlemen. So she has become, in the parenting world, like the golden rule to kind of seek advice from. And it seemed like a really good idea when Joel and I were talking about this in theory. Now that we're here, seems like a slightly less good idea. But here we go. So do you feel like it'd be in your scope to like go into someone's room, like check out under the bed and the drawers and the closet, kind of stuff like that? What do you think about that?
That's hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's best if you go off of what you think might be going on with your kid. If you have a kid that is cooking along and grades are good and they're doing what they can.
Go on.
They're involved in things. They're interacting with their friends. They're not going in their bedroom and being there for 4 hours and not talking to the family or anything like that. Then I don't think that that's probably really something that I would do. I didn't do.
Which brings me to my follow-up question.
Yeah.
How snoopy did you get in me and Nathaniel's stuff?
I don't remember looking at your stuff. I remember picking up your phone one time when it went off, and it was a text. And I just picked it up. I felt a little guilty. And I don't even remember what the text was or anything. Obviously, it was nothing important.
Because I'm perfect.
I think you do need to be careful with kids on what they see on the computer. And so I don't really see a problem with tracking their internet history.
Okay.
Just because there's so much danger out there that I don't think kids are really capable of thinking through. I don't think their brains are developed enough that they can really understand the long-term consequences of some of those things.
Did you ever hide anything from your mom that you didn't want her to find?
Is the camera on?
Yeah.
Being truthful.
Being truthful.
So should I have
should you
looked
have
at your
looked?
stuff? That's really good. I'm glad we're doing this. Yeah. This was a great idea.
Ooh, I would get like PG-13 movies, like superhero movies, from the library.
You just felt guilty.
I did feel guilty about it.
You were hiding it.
That's right.
Because you were hiding something.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't really matter what it was.
What it was. It was that. Yeah, definitely. There you have it. The not so perfect child. Back to the studio.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refined Thoughts. What are your ideas on childhood privacy? Let us know in the comments down below. And we will chat with you next time here on Refined Thoughts.